Hello everyone. My presentation is Posthumanism into Fanfiction Stories. The first title of the first story is the title of the second story is The Cyborg. So let's begin. Okay, so on your right side here, have you ever watched this movie Wall-E? So a small robot, and the robot is smart. The robot cleans everything. On the earth after humans left the earth. And this one, the center here, your smartphone can count better than the owner, right? Better than us. So we have artificial intelligence in our smartphone too. And the left side here, beautiful woman. Her name is Sophia. Sophia is actually a robot too with artificial intelligence. She can answer our questions and she can communicate well. Sophia also the first female robot who got citizenship. Yes, so it means that the emergence of AI and cyber is real in our world. Perhaps in the future, we will have, the a mixture between human and also robot or artificial intelligence. So that is why it is important for us to discuss about this. How could we have our own perspective in dealing with this matter? What about in literature? What about our recent kind of literature? So during this presentation, I will have two stories I will share with you, and then in relation with posthumanism and also cyber, including artificial intelligence, and then in recent kind of literature. Okay, so we have some terms. I think I need to define it more, deeply about this. So we have posthumanism, we have fanfiction here, the second one, and cyber. Well, the concept of posthumanism, if I may summarize it, so it is about the challenges. So it challenges the traditional point of view of basic humanity value. As we know that, human beings are usually the central discussion of everything. For example, when we talk about literature, most stories will have human as the main characters. And we talk about, for example, our economy and etc. This posthumanism try to have different point of view. As we know that we are now in pandemic situation, so we have a situation there, and human is not the central discussion anymore. So nature also takes part, and then also the virus also. So it means that human is not the main creature that can take over the world, or the most powerful creature on earth. Okay, so that is why posthumanism is so interesting to be discussed. And then the second term is fanfiction. Fanfiction relates to millennials writers, so we can find the stories in Wattpad, Write for Fun, and etc. So these millennials writers are inspired by movies, novels, and other concepts. So for example, we talk about Twilight movie. So fanfiction story will continue that story or that movie based on the what is it the the fans' creativity. So they will create their own story to continue the movie. Or perhaps the concept here, because cyborg is the concept, so they can write, they can have a story about this. And then the last is cyborg. Cyborg, a creature with artificial intelligence. So just like this picture that I've shown here. Okay, why those two stories? Why Cyborg and the Cyborg? Well, first because of the title, the same, right? Cyborg, Cyborg. But the first one, Cyborg, the second one, the Cyborg with the. And then they also have young writers because what is that? I think when I took these two stories, so it could portray young writers' creativity, not only young writers' creativity, but also young writers' mind. And then one story is from Australia, and the second story non-English speaking country, because from the sentences, I could know that he or she is not a native speaker. Platforms here, so those two stories were not taken from thick book, no, but from Wattpad and Write for Fun. I'm sure that young readers or young writers know Wattpad and Write for Fun. Okay, so I did more deeply about the similarities and differences of those two short stories in relation with posthumanism concepts. So how do, the writers try to have this concept in their story? So I will dig more deeply the similarities and also differences. So this I use document analysis, especially comparative study, and I compare some intrinsic elements. Okay, so Rowan is the writer, the young writer. He is from Australia and the title is The Cyborg. So I will read the summary for you. A cyborg begins to be awake after a long period of surgery. The character realizes that he or she is not a fully human again. His or her thought that is stated from the sentences, "They told me they were saving my life. It wasn't long until I realized the truth. They were not saving my life, trying to create the perfect soldier, half human and half machine." Readers can know that actually the character doesn't want to live to be a cyborg. There is a tendency that being a cyborg is less worthy than being a fully human. The story then continues to the presence of a bad character that is characterized as a leader of terrorist organization. Explicitly, the main character doesn't agree to the concept of cybernetics that seems to save someone's life. He thinks that this technological and scientific development is used to fulfill humans' desire. In this case, it is relatable with political power to conquer other areas where there is no one who has same values. The bad character says that the war is not caused by the government responsibility. The reason of having the war based on the bad character is men, women, and even children begged and pleaded to be saved. The cyborg, after knowing some effects of government action, decides to expose the truth about the government. So this is the summary of the first story. The cyborg is created to destroy human beings by a man named Dan Weiss. So this is the creator of the cyborg. Different from the first creators, Weiss, the cyborg decides to run away and she lives as a normal human. The cyborg is so happy when she lives together with her stepmother, experiences going to school, and she feels different. She feels different to a teenager. Perhaps she was a teenager. Okay. The story then continues to the event where her stepmom knows that she is a cyborg. Not long after that, her mother and her close friend. She has to meet her creator and surrender for saving Liz and Mike. The story ends with the optimistic feeling from Liz that Lisa, or this is the name of the cyborg, can be together with. Okay, two different stories. How about the similarities? So, as we know that both stories have human and technological stuff as the cyborg, and both stories also have the critics toward the powerful ones. The first one, the first story, the cyborg. The powerful one is the government, and the second, the powerful one is the creator of the cyborg. And then the second is both story also deconstruct the concept of human. So that actually human has its negative side, and they try to have cyborg as a better creature. So human is not the main or the most powerful creature anymore. And then both stories do not have the living creatures like animals, nature, plants in the story. Okay, so what about the differences? So the differences here based on the element, intrinsic element. I got three: theme, characterization, and gender. For the theme here, the first story is more about Marxism. So it not for the rich or poor, no, but it's about the powerful one and less power like that. So it has two oppositions, and then different from the first story, it is about love. Yeah, so the theme is about the love from a cyborg and humans. Okay, and then about the characterization. So half human, half robot for the first cyborg, the cyborg. So we can see that we can see the first appearance. So we can see the human and also the robot. So half human, half robot. But the second one is human's appearance. So we cannot know whether the second robot is actually a cyber, because she looks like real human, so we cannot differentiate it. So it also affects to clear characterization for the first story, the cyborg, and unclear characterization for the second story, cyborg. And what about the gender? So here, the half human, half robot here, the robot doesn't have the sex, so we cannot say whether the robot is male or female. Yeah, and because the point of view is the first point of view, so I like that. The writer uses I, so we cannot say the sex. Yeah, but the second story, it is clearly known that Lisa, the name, and also she or her, and blah blah blah. So female. Okay, so move to the conclusion. Yes, as we know that both story have Cyborg as the main discussion, and story do not include the nature, but actually both story challenge the concept of humans. So humans should be aware of the negative sides. We should be aware that we are not the perfect creature. While we should live together with other creatures, with with nature and etc. And the differences are the proofs of writers' creativity. So well done for young writers because they are able to deconstruct and question human values comparing to their cyborgs.